As requested by one of our viewers Rahul, in this video we are comparing the Hero Impulse and the Xpulse. Enjoy.
Do you remember the time when we talked about the Hero Impulse? We talked about India's first off-road motorcycle back then. But this time we are going to be talking about its successor, the Hero Xpulse. Also, I saw that we haven't discussed two-wheelers in a long time. So what better way to start than by starting the discussion on the new Indian off-road monster. The Impulse was an absolute value for money product, but people failed to understand this motorcycle's real potential. Or should I say that Hero failed to properly market and advertise this motorcycle? I don't know. It was so underrated at its time. After being in the market for 5 years and failing to meet the expected sales number, it had to be discontinued. And today, after almost 2 years of its discontinuation, many people have started to realize that what a wonderful motorcycle it was, and thus are looking for a second-hand one. All I can say now is that the Hero Impulse is currently an underrated motorcycle in the Indian market. So now, what do you think? Will the Xpulse live up to the legacy of its predecessor, or is it going to let us down? So let's find it out. From the design perspective, I loved the Impulse, but not so much the Xpulse. Reason? The Impulse was a proper dirt bike, you see. Right from the design, it looked like you could just buy it from the showroom and take it to the Dakar rally. The Xpulse, on the other hand, doesn't look as extreme as its predecessor. Especially the round headlights in the front would be more suited on a cruiser motorcycle than an off-road motorcycle like the Xpulse. The Impulse is sharp and narrow from the front, which an off-road bike needs to be to take the path less trodden. Then there is the side profile of the bike. The Xpulse, despite being the successor of the Impulse, has a lower ground clearance. There were elements like the tail lights and the indicators which looked kind of cheap on the Impulse, but that's not the case on the Xpulse. It's visually appealing from all the sides. Talking about the engine and the performance, this is the part where we are going to see a major improvement. The Impulse had a not so powerful 150cc engine that produced about 13 bhp and 13 Nm of torque. Not much, but was enough for a bike like an Impulse. The Xpulse, on the other hand, has a 200cc engine that produces close to 18 bhp and 16.4 Nm of torque. Again, not much, but great considering that the bike is light and its main function is to break off-road records, not performance one. Now, the Xpulse will mostly be used as a tourer, so the highway performance needs to be good. And I'm happy to say that the Xpulse can easily cruise around at speeds up to 100 to 110 km per hour. On the braking front, the Impulse had a disc brake at the front and a drum brake on the rear. They performed satisfactorily. The case has been changed for the Xpulse. It has disc brakes both at the front and the rear, and in the rear world, the brakes perform phenomenally. There are also accessories like the handle guard that have been given, which raise the quality of the Xpulse even more. Talking about the ergonomics in general, the ergonomics of the Xpulse are better than the Impulse. I wish I could say that, but no. The seat was more comfortable on the Impulse than the Xpulse, and for a highway cruiser, that's a pretty bad thing. So, conclusion. The Hero Xpulse is an improvement over the Impulse in many ways. It has more power and torque, has a better instrument cluster, and an overall updated modern design. Unlike the Hero Impulse, which failed in the Indian market, the Xpulse is a solid proposal for all the off-road enthusiasts out there. And guess what? It's not too expensive. For just about 1.3 lakhs, you can have a brand new Xpulse that's ready to conquer the path less trodden. So, comment down below which one will you buy.
Also guys, do check out our podcast Shift with Motor Drift for some fun-filled conversation regarding cars, and our blog posts at motordrift.org. Thank you for giving this a watch. I trust you like this one. If you did, then do share it with your friends and do consider subscribing to Motor Drift for more such content in the future. All the links will be in the description below. Till then, ciao.